everybody. It is Tuesday, February 22nd, 2011, and this is our week 13 for Dan and week 12 for me, RNY Updates. We've had a busy week this past week, and we decided to take advantage of the long weekend and go to Ocean City, Maryland. And it was pretty cold and windy, but I did get to ride my bike twice, really short rides because it was pretty cold. And we also went over to Assateague Island, and we saw the remains of a whale. I've never seen that before. I spotted it up in the dunes as we were riding along, and we went up there and investigated it, and it huge big bone, and like one of the bones was as tall as I was. So we took pictures of it and went over to the ranger station when we were done, and he said it was a whale and that the wind had probably uncovered the bones because it was probably buried in the sand for a long time. So that was pretty cool. And today is also Dan's birthday. Happy birthday, sweetie. And today he turns 38. And alright, so let's get right to the numbers. Dan started his weight loss journey at 322. On surgery day, he weighed 301.3. This week, like I said, is his week 13. He's actually 3 months this week. And he has lost 3.6 pounds, which has brought him down to 243.8. And that's a total loss of 78.2 pounds. I started out at 288. On surgery day, I was 279. And this is my week 12. And I lost 2 pounds even. And that brought me to 243. And that's a total loss of 45 pounds. So we are doing just fine. While we're away though, you know, every time we go away, it's just hard. It's just crazy. You have to think so much about what you're going to eat and take little bags of stuff with us. Just, I don't know. It's just a lot to get used to. We did go to a seafood restaurant. This is the first time we've gone to not a sit-down restaurant, but more like a seafood restaurant. And we ordered 2 semi-small meals, the smallest that we could figure out from the menu that would be safe for us to eat. And I had steamed shrimp. It was like a half a pound of steamed shrimp. And Dan had flounder with steamed vegetables. And it was very good. We had a potato skin appetizer with like shrimp and scallops in it, with like a sour cream kind of a mixture in it. It was really good, but honestly, I could only eat like a little bit of it, and Dan could only eat a little of it too. So I don't know, it's just kind of crazy for us to spend $30 on dinner. I mean, true, we did take, you know, the majority of it home with us, and we did eat it all one more time, but I don't know, I think I'd rather just get carry out, buy one meal, get carry out, and eat it at home. It's I don't know, even the waitress came over. I'd only eaten 2 of my shrimp, and she came over and she wanted to make sure everything was okay, like as if, you know, I wasn't eating quick enough. So I don't know, eating out's just a little weird still. So we got a box. We took most of it home with us. And we also walked on the boardwalk. It was very windy. I mean, we're talking when we'd go through those little sections where the buildings weren't blocking us from the wind, it was crazy wind. And we were walking along, and usually when we go to the boardwalk, it's kind of like a little tradition to get a little treat. It's been a tradition since I was a little girl. When I would go to the boardwalk, you'd get a little treat, and either it'd be a little bag of candy or an ice cream cone with sprinkles, or Fisher's popcorn, which is a really popular caramel popcorn in Ocean City. You always just get a treat. And so we're walking along, and of course I'm thinking in the back of my mind that, you know, we're going to get a treat. Well, there are no treats on the boardwalk for us anymore. We looked around, and I decided I would go and run into the candy store, the Walk and Fuss Fudge Factory, I think it's called, and see if they had any sugar-free anything. And they did. They had a whole little section. And she had a book where I could look through and look at the nutritional value. I tried to choose one with a really low sugar alcohol content, because we've been trying to stay really away from a lot of the sugar alcohol. And I ended up picking up, it was bridge mix, sugar-free bridge mix. It was basically raisins and nuts and cashews and almonds, like covered in a chocolate. I don't think it was chocolate. I think it was some sort of other thing. I don't know what it was. It wasn't that great. It really wasn't. It was only like $4 for a fourth of a pound of it. But it just wasn't, I mean, it tasted kind of gross, actually. I think I would rather just have nothing than have that. I don't even know if Dan's tried it yet. I don't know. But, so I was just kind of thinking about that, like this summer, we go to the beach a lot. I spend a lot of time in Ocean City, Maryland. And I was thinking about how walking on the boardwalk with my kids this summer is going to be really different. And probably what I'll end up doing is just kind of watching my kids enjoy their treat on the boardwalk and me getting to walk along with a lot more energy and a much thinner body, and I'm fine with that trade-off. I really am. As I was walking along thinking that, you know, we walked all the way to 5th Street. We started at the inlet, and there have been times when I didn't want to go all the way to 5th Street. I mean, it's not really just 5 blocks. It's from the inlet. I think they add in like about 6 or 7 extra blocks that have names. They don't exactly go in numerical order. And by the time you get to 5th Street, you've walked about 10, I don't know, 12 blocks. And I didn't feel that way. I mean, the wind was a lot, and if it hadn't been windy and cold, I probably would have even been happier. But just thinking about the fact that this summer I'll have even lost even more weight, and just, you know, taking my kids up there and having so much more energy, which is really one of the main reasons I had this surgery in the first place, was to try and regain some of my activity level, which I had kind of let, you know, fall to the wayside. So, okay, so that was our little trip, and we had a great time. Okay, now tomorrow I have to go into the hospital and have my endoscopy. The reason I have to do it at the hospital and not at my doctor's office is because they're going to do a biopsy, and if there is something wrong that he immediately sees, he's going to go ahead and fix it while I'm there. So I go in tomorrow at 1:45, and my procedure's at 2:45. He saw me last week, and what he said was, he listened to all my symptoms and how there just really is no rhyme or reason to why or when I get them. And he thought it could be one of 3 things. He said I could either have a swelling at that connection site, which is what my surgeon thinks it might be. It could also be an ulcer at that same connection site. Apparently that's a common area to get an ulcer, and that also can cause vomiting and not feeling well. And the third reason is something to do with stomach acid and how your body just isn't really, you know, used to the way that things are working right now, and it just takes time for it to adjust. And it might just be I have a lot of stomach acid. Not that I have any heartburn or any feeling that I have stomach acid, but he thought that could be one of the reasons too. But I have not had an episode of vomiting, but I did just get back from running some errands, and I don't really think I ate anything too bizarre today, but I didn't feel very good. I was out. I was really kind of rushing to get back home because I thought I might get sick. I didn't, and now I feel okay. I'm back to normal. It's just a weird thing. I don't know. It's just not exactly like it used to be, and so I hope they see something and are able to fix it and not just wake up and then say, well, everything was perfect. So, I don't know. So anyway, I will keep you guys posted on how that goes. And I did do Dan's 3-month pictures, so I will add those at the end. And you guys have a wonderful week, and I will see you next Monday. Bye.